All right, everyone, this is Celso Batalha Soten, and I would like to go over the discussion we are to have this week. So, the discussion number 3 that is finishing or finalizing at midnight tonight, you still have a chance to go to the post, see if I've been trying to reply to all your comments as I put my hands in the computer. In fact, before starting taping, I was replying to some of you. But if you all do these assignments the last day, I might not have time to read them all and post feedback, which means the grade might not be great. What I recommend is that in the beginning of the week, you start posting on the discussion that's supposed to be closed on Monday next week, so that I will post comments and I will post a grade, and then you see if you like the grade or not. If you like the grade, it's great. So you don't need to do much unless you really want to go deep into. Or you go out and try to improve it, in which case you are going to post it again and I will read it again probably 2 days later. I for sure will be checking these discussions on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Maybe on Sunday if I have the time, maybe on Monday like today if I have the time, but I cannot guarantee that. So the discussion ending today, it was a simple task that I provided you with. Let's see here. I provided you with the places on the celestial sphere, on the sky, where the sun was supposed to be located, which means which constellation the sun was located in each one of the constellations of zodiac. So, for instance, Leo, the sun is in Leo between August 11 and September 16, and so on, and so on, and so on. So your task was very simple. You would go to this table, and then you would find your birthday. For instance, one of the students I was just reading, she was born in let me see, I think it was August 6th. So August 6th, and according to her, her astrological sign was Leo. Okay, but the sun was not in Leo. The sun was in Cancer, right? So there is some discrepancy in the sun's position in the sky, as said by the astrologers, and as dictated by the sky. You look at the sun. Well, if you could look directly to the sun is not in Leo. It's in Cancer. So why is that? So first you have to identify the discrepancy. And all of you did. All of you who post solutions identify the problem. But then come the next step, and that is why. Right? So why? So the hint that I'm giving, and I'm pretty much giving out, is go to chapter 2. In chapter 2, there are 3 basic types of motion. Earth's rotation on its axis that gives rise to day and night. Earth revolution around the sun that gives rise to the different constellations we see in the sky every month or so, right? And also the different types of seasons we go through, as Earth has an axis of rotation that is inclined with respect to its orbital plane. It's called ecliptic plane. That's the second one. There is a third one called precession. So precession is caused by the fact Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's slightly oblate, so which means the equatorial region is slightly flatter than the region across the poles. So the poles, the distance between the poles is less than the distance between the extremes in the equator. Okay, so the Earth's kind of a oblate. Uh, Earth rotates. This is one of the reasons, but in addition to that, you have Moon and Sun all together pulling Earth, gravitationally speaking, pulling Earth. And as a result of this, Earth's axis of rotation precesses with a period that takes a long time. It's 25 or so thousand years, 26,000 years, a long period. And because of that, these axes of rotation keep pointing in different sky regions. And that is the reason also that the point of equinox changed every single year. I mean, as few fractions of degrees or arc minutes. And as a result of that, the point of equinox changed, especially over a period of hundreds of years. You can detect that quite easily. So your job is to find out of these three types of motions, which one is responsible for the discrepancy between the astrological sign and the astronomical housing or astronomical position of the sun in the sky, right? So which one? And then it would be nice if you could discuss why is keeping different. Okay. Now the discussion that comes after this one, and that is the discussion number 4. Let me see if I posted already. Is a continuation of this in the sense that all, see if I can find it, all the, I'm asking you now to use the Stellarium. I'm asking you to use the Stellarium. Find it here. So here is the discussion for next week. It's a continuation of this. I had another subject, but I decided to change just to give you the chance of going deep into the subject, because it's very common that we think we are controlled in our behaviors, in our actions by the position of moon in the sky. You have these traditions, the astrological traditions. There are people who only try to go out and date and meet people that have certain astrological sign. And I would like you to explore these a little bit more deeper than just giving an opinion. And for that, in this discussion, you go to a place that you can read your astrological chart, but it's free. And as far as I can tell, it doesn't have a lot of virus associated with it. It's Cafe Astrology. You go here, and then you get a free astrological chart. So what you do? Wait a second. No, don't download anything. What is it? I just did it this morning. Did I put the wrong address? Just a second. Wait a second. Oh, I have to get this address right. Horoscopes. No, I don't want to do that. Astrological chart. That's what I want. Astrological chart. Astrology. Wonder if I got the wrong address. That's the one. Oh, okay. Let me get this address. Let's see. So then you enter your name. You can make fake. Month is July. In my case, July. Day is 31st. And year. Come on. There you go. Then you enter year. I don't know the exact, probably 8 p.m., but I'm not sure. And the city is Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Next. Okay, what's going on? Why is it not going next? Yeah, then I need that. The sunrise probably like this. Doesn't like Rio de Janeiro. Oh, there you go. Next. Submit. And then you're gonna have everything. Sun is in Leo, Mercury in Cancer, Venus in Gemini, blah blah blah. So you have all of that stuff. Okay. Oh, they are putting Chiron. Ooh, God. All right. So you get that information, and then in fact, let me change this. Now the link is correct, hopefully. Okay, and then you go to Stellarium, and I show you how to do the same thing. And then you go to Stellarium, and then you find where the sun was, astronomically speaking, the day you were born, and where the moon was, Mercury was, and so on, so on, so on. Venus, and then Jupiter, Saturn. Just go to the planets and Pluto. And the point of the discussion that is closing on Monday next week is let me know if you bump on some troubles. Explain the differences, if any, what do you think is going on. So give some opinion here. And that's the main point. So I would like you to observe if it's all different, which means the planets are not the same, or just the sun is the same. We already saw in discussion 3 that the sun is not the same, but how about the planets? Are the planets the same or different? So, and then I would like your opinion. Remember, in the first discussion, we put a lot of attention on logic fallacies that we commonly use, in our everyday life. So I would like you to try to explain what's going on. He could claim that the software Stellarium is a fake one, fake news. You could do that too, but then we would try to get a different software and compare the results. Okay. Do you have any question regarding the discussion that is going on right now, or are you all good? Okay. So Stellarium. I was reading something here. Take this away. So Stellarium, you download the Stellarium and then you open. So let's say I will start this assignment now, and then I open. Mac will not run an application that is not from iTunes. You have to go to the place where you download your application and then force it to open, and then it will open. Okay. So you open the Stellarium. Is an application all over? Yes, open. And there it comes. So it gives us the sky, and this is, and I already put it in Rio de Janeiro on, oh, I have to change the dates here. So what you do, you go to your software and then date and time. So you want to go, in my case, I want to go to the day I was born and the year I was born. Okay, now I was a teenager. Now I was a sucking baby. Sucker. Okay, 8/7 July and 31st. There you go. July 31st, 1950. Hee-hoo, I am a Leo. Oh, strong and leader and all that kind of interpretation they make. As if, only those were to be, leaders. And okay. And don't worry about that. So I set the time, and then you can see down here. You can see down here, July 31st, 1953. So we are done with that setting. And then we go to another setting, and that is the location. I already put the location, but let's say you have your Stellarium set for San Jose. So you go to location, which is the first icon on the left-hand side, click on it, and then you find where is your location. So I found Rio de Janeiro. There is one of the options. Right there. Click on it, and then that's it. So now I'm in Rio de Janeiro. Okay. So I have the locale right, I have the date right, and I wanted to start finding things. So to find where the sun was, I would go to the proper daytime. So this is, oh, wait a second. See this information? You don't need that. And also, I have funny names for my stars. You still have some work to do. Here's what you do. You go to daytime, no. Sky and viewing options. Sky and viewing options. You click on it, and then somewhere here, just a second. You go to, oh, markings would be nice to have the ecliptic, because ecliptic is a position of the sun in the sky. So I would like to mark the ecliptic in red. Why is not marking? Okay. So ecliptic is there. Meridian. Meridian is a line that crosses the sky from due north, go all the way to the zenith point, and then due south. So it's always good to have a reference in the sky, like AM, PM, right? Anti-meridian, post-meridian. 10 a.m. in the morning is at 10 o'clock a.m. anti-meridian. So it's before the sun is crossing meridian. 2 p.m. is 2 post-meridian, is 2 hours after the sun crosses meridian. Okay. Let's see, do I want to show the zenith? Yeah, I don't need it. Landscape. Oh, this is interesting. In some default, when you download Stellarium, sometimes it keeps giving you Arabic names, sometimes Aztecs. Don't ask me why. For the stars, or Indian, for instance, if I put Indian, the stars will be named with Indian names. It's not there now. Indian, Vedic, or Japanese. So you want to Western. You want a Western. Use this sky culture as default. Okay. Show boundaries. Okay, that's good. So when you click show boundaries, it's going to show the boundaries of constellations basically. And then it would be nice to have names. I don't want to show here. Yes, it is. No, this is well. Show constellation lines would be good. See the constellations appear, but I don't care for that. I would like to see the names. So the name of the constellations, that would be good. Okay. So I think we are good here. I think we are good. We can get out. And all this information here, I don't care for. So let me see if I can get rid of it. And that is in the settings, configuration window. You click on that. And then information. Get rid of that. The only thing you want is name. Probably the constellation may be. Visual magnitude is always good. I like at least. And I guess that's it. Distance, I don't care. We don't need now. Type would be good. Size maybe. I don't know. Probably not necessary. That's it. So that's what you need to accomplish. So we are facing due south. And then in my Macintosh, I can expand the zoom in and out using 2 fingers on the pad. But where are the planets? So in the southern hemisphere, because I was born there, if I want to see the ecliptic, I shouldn't be looking south. It's funny, no? It should be looking north. So let's take a look north. Keep going. And keep going. And that's your ecliptic line again. And now we have the constellations of zodiac. It's right there in the library. Now, I want to see the planets, and the name of planets, you can bring it about here. See that? Cardinal points I have. Atmosphere. Galaxies. Where are the planets? constellation labels. I have constellation lines. And what are the planets? Oh, there you go, right here. Planets. Oh, they are already indicated. So the planets are there. I found this software, they are not so helpful with a Macintosh is not so helpful with it, kind of to control. I still haven't find an easy way to control it, and I still have these names south serpents, this Shuba. I don't know what places are those. Wait a second. Sky and view options. Show labels. I have that. Show boundaries. I have that. Using native names for planets. On. Fasting. Arabian. Probably I didn't have any planet when I was born. Probably that was it. No, of course there was. Okay, landscape, Star-Lord, marking. We have the horizon, the sphere. Landscape. Sky. Jupiter. So I have the planets listed here, but that's just as an option. But it doesn't tell me where they are. Perhaps I'm not looking at the proper place. Let me see. And the ecliptic line didn't appear. Hercules. That's better. Ophiuchi. Antares, the Scorpio. Oh, that's the ecliptic right there. Okay, Western.
Are you showing the meridian line and the constellation boundaries?
You know what? I'm having a hard time to control the software to do what I want to do. Here's the ecliptic line. So the ecliptic line goes to the constellations of the zodiac. You have Libra, you have Scorpio somewhere here with Antares. So it's all nice. So let me follow, but I can't follow easily the constellation. See, now zoom in. See if I can zoom out somehow.
Yeah, can you remember? I wasn't able to download it on my laptop, so I've got it on my iPhone. But I also
Who's
have
this?
like
Is Eduardo?
yes,
Hey Eduardo, how are you?
good. I had a little problems connecting this evening.
You did?
Yeah, it wouldn't let me in. It wouldn't let me in, so I had to kind of reload the thing, and it took me 20 minutes for that to do. That was a pain. Um, the one that I have on my iPhone also has like light population. There's a 2, Milky Way brightness, the 2, and thickness of lines. So, do I do anything with those?
No, you don't need it. You don't need it. See, so now I'm zooming in. You don't need to. You just need to find where the planets are. Let me see if I have some find help window. Let me see if it's really helpful. About log help times scrolling clear selection add question mark select question marks. Let me do one thing here. Let me just get out. And let me open again. I might have the screw somehow done something, I'm not so sure. Let me open. Looks like when you have a problem in your car and then you take to a mechanic and can demonstrate how things are doing bad. Okay, please open. Okay, so now I'm not gonna make changes to go to Rio de Janeiro, to go to South America. This is pretty much North America, and although it's Rio das Pedras, should be São José. So let's go day and time and put in São José. Location. It's United States. Did I miss San Jose? Oh, there you go. San Jose, United States. So you're there, the moon. Oh, now the planets appear. I don't know why the planets disappear going to the southern hemisphere and looking north, but now seems to be fine. So let me bring the sky and viewing options, lens marking. Let me bring the ecliptic, and let me bring, what's the other one? Meridian. Okay. Now I have both. I have ecliptic and I have meridian, and I have all these names, but I'm not going to worry about it. And I need constellations. So I go down, constellation labels, and constellations lines. So I don't need the lines, but it would be nice to bring the boundaries. The boundaries is location window, perhaps here, configuration window. Come on, come on. Okay. Tools, script plugins, information. You don't need any of that. Tools. Script, navigation, running that information. Well, this is what I just opened. I'm getting
What's your setting for landscaping or for landscape?
For landscaping, I'm trying. Um, I'm trying to find the boundary. Oh, there you go. Show boundaries. There you go. So you go to Star Lore and show boundaries. It's a bad place to put that. I would imagine this would be in a different location. But anyway, so if you go to sky and viewing options and go to Star Lore, you can choose show boundaries, and that will show, and also constellation lines if you want to, if you don't want to take it out. But you want to labels, you want to know which constellations they are. And then you get out, and then, so here's Scorpio, and the moon is and Saturn are in this constellation here, which is Ophiuchi, right? But in northern days, see Ophiuchi. But in northern days, there is a microphone on, and it's going to the communication. If somebody could mute the microphone, unless you want to ask something, please do so. Hello? Somebody could mute the microphone. Thank you. So Ophiuchi was a constellation introduced by astronomers. And it just to mess up, I think, the astrological 12 constellations. But originally, you could call this region Scorpio. So Moon and Saturn, I would say, are in Scorpio today, right? This is for today, September 25th, 2017. Let me see any other planets. Now it's navigating all right. So let me just speed up the time to see if some other planet appear. So I bring the cursor down and I keep clicking this button. And then I have the sky moving from east to west because that's the sky rotation. And then that's Uranus right there. Let me stop. Oops. Why doesn't it stop? Oh Lord. The sky is under control. Oh Lord, this sky is all crazy. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second.
Did you say that the moon was in Saturn?
No, the moon has to be in the sky region, and I'm not being able to stop this software.
That deer has called your liver like, hey, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay, let me quit this Stellarium. I found that Macintoshes are horrible with this software. Okay. It's a different software, but it's basically does the same thing, but it's more well behaved with Macintosh. So let me just turn it off, bring it on. How is your leg? Better?
I'm getting an MRI on Friday.
Oh.
Turns out to be that I got bruising right around my heel.
Yeah.
And they had to call the doctors, send them some photos, and they told me that my muscle had internal bleeding. So they told me to don't walk on it, get back on the crutches. So my MRI is going to happen on Friday. See how.
Oh, good luck there. So now I'm trying to bring this. Oh, Stellario file open. I can't understand why these softwares are not working as they should. I might be using a lot of CPU, and then everything is kind of going in a bad direction. Because I'm running QuickTime in the background, and I click open for a software that's similar to Stellarium, and it doesn't come up.
Yeah, for some reason, remember when I told you I tried to download Stellarium on my
computer?
Pro, and for some reason,
you know what? Tomorrow, remind me to. Oh, but we're gonna be in the observatory.
And the one that I have on my phone, the Stellaris that I have on my phone,
yeah,
that one doesn't have as many options. It gives me a couple, but I mean it doesn't go to that extent.
Okay. Okay, now I have it back for some reason here. You open up, take that away, take that away. So view. Let me call the boundaries of constellations. They are there. Let me bring the name of the constellations and also planets and constellations. So now I have everything, and I can bring the ecliptic.
See, these are the only options this one gives me.
Oh, I can't. You have to show me tomorrow. Right now, I can't.
I will. It's impossible.
Yeah. Okay, now I have ecliptic and I have the planets. And so I would say Neptune is in Aquarius, right here. Neptune is in Aquarius. And then I would go to that plate, that table, and then write it down. Pluto is in Sagittarius. Saturn and the Moon are in Ophiuchi, but it's pretty much a Scorpio. So Scorpio is not just this tiny little thing here. Traditionally, it was a much longer constellation. So Ophiuchi is just taking a bite in Scorpio. So forget about Scorpio, Ophiuchi, and anything that falls in Ophiuchi, in fact, is falling in Scorpio. So that you could compare with traditional astrological chart. And then if I run the time forward here, let me do that. As I was doing before, let me speed up a little bit more. Then the other planets appear. So now Uranus is in Pisces, and what else? Let's see another one coming in. Ceres is not, but Venus, get rid of daylight. Stars, no. So Venus is in Leo, would be in Leo. Mercury is complicated. Look at Mercury. Mercury technically is in Virgo along with Sun. And Mars and Venus happen to be in Leo. This is now. So that's what you do, and then you would compare the planet's position, the sun position, as you see in the sky the day you were born, with whatever is given by the astrological chart provided by Café Astrology or something. Now, what the sun we know is not going to be the same, but how about the planets? Now, if the planets are not in the same place, so you could claim that, well, astrologers keep thinking the sky it is now as it was for some reason 4,000 years ago. You could do that. Or you could find something else, something more interesting. why the sun is not in the right place, but the planets are in the right place. And that's the point of discussion. Okay? So email me, and also I recommend that you try to do this assignment or discussion early in the week. Let's say if you can find some time to work on it tonight, that's great. If not, next week or next tomorrow, that would be great. And then I will post feedback, and then we go working together, and then we do a briefing thing like we are doing now. Okay. Okie dokie. All good. Life is good.
And that's for what assignment, Professor? I'm sorry.
This is for discussion that is going to be closing next Monday. There is a discussion closing today that has to do just with the sun. The next week discussion, or this week discussion, is based not only on the sun, but all the other planets. And I changed the discussion because the subject was so well done by all of you that I decided to extend it. Okay? But I'm using Stellarium for that purpose. If Stellarium does not work for you, I can find you another software that might be easier to. There is a software called Heavens Above, and can do the same thing. Can give you your sky map the day you were born, and I can give that to you. I can show the link in case Stellarium is not working. You can't do the assignment. And this software, Heavens Above, you don't download in your computer. You do the calculations on their website. So you don't need to transfer over anything. Okay? All right, Renee, thanks for coming. Yeah. All right. So any other questions? Okay, let me stop taping now.